Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. My life is just going downhill and I can't stop it. A little context before I start. So, I'm a 15-year-old boy who's been bullied a lot in school and have been struggling with depression, anxiety and suicide. Sorry if my English a bit off. It isn't my first language. You could say that I've had it a bit rough. Not too rough, but enough to make a difference. I was bullied a lot through 3rd to 6th grade. I was left behind, ignored, verbally abused and hit on some occasions. I never really had any friends, but I had a few. So I was often alone on recess. In 3rd grade it all started. They started to ignore me for no reason. They just felt like it. I was a fairly emotionally unstable kid, so when an emotion struck, it hit hard. Now, in retrospect, that may have been the reason why they chose me. Anyways, I cried a lot in school. Even for the dumbest things. I could have just said something wrong and I was just start crying if someone chuckled over it. It was stupid. I see that now. But it was who I was and that wasn't going to stop me. Or so I thought. Every day was a nightmare. I had trouble getting out of bed. In 3rd grade. I sound selfish when I point it out, but just imagine for a second. A 10 or 9-year-old boy. We in Sweden start a year after the Americans. Having trouble getting out of bed in the morning because of a group of kids are saying things about him either in front of him or behind his back. That's sickening to think about. Let's fast forward to 2016 real fast. I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. Anyway, my grandparents died and they took advantage of that. They meant a lot to me. I kinda grew up in their house. So that they exploited the fact that the most important part of my life was gone. Was a low blow, even for them. But the school didn't care at all. They didn't believe us. I had been tormented for so long that I thought, and tried, to commit suicide. I wasn't happy. And I still haven't recovered. I never made any indication that I was suicidal. I never even said anything to anyone. My parents wanted me to go to a therapist, but I denied it every time. A really stupid fucking move. But I powered through it and started at a new school. I still have trust issues, but I always lean towards someone more than anyone else I know. Fast forward to last week. I just found out that my girlfriend is thinking about taking her own life because of that school. She's been there for a shorter time, but she has had it worse than I ever had. Not only that, but my uncle is on deathbed and his heart will probably stop fully soon. I don't know what to do, so I went on YouTube and saw that people were making posts about these things here, and I just thought, maybe, just maybe, this'll clear my mind. I hope it did. Please people, check on the Chue kid sometimes. Only he knows what's happening in his head. Edit. I forgot to put this in. But I changed schools and I'm doing pretty good now. Sorry if I worried a lot of people, and never take bullying as a joke. It's not. End of story. Next story. We thought there was a shooter at my school today. We were in our Patriot period class. And we had to work on computers. I had just gotten back from using the bathroom and logged onto my computer again. I then heard somebody coming into the intercom saying, "We're in a lockdown. This is not a drill." I repeat, this is not a drill. Frantically, we all close our computers and run to the corner of the classroom. People are falling down and giggling. We already know what's happening. People are shushing other students and get down on their hands and knees to pray. I sit across my friend and start to pray with her. Our teacher sits down at his computer typing an email. People whisper things like, I need to text my parents, and the teacher is gonna get us caught. One girl beside me takes out her phone. Her brightness is on 100 and we all tell her to turn it down. She does. But then a notification comes up in her phone, showing a blinking flashlight. It startles some people as we all make a noise. She texts her mom, "I'm in a lockdown. I don't know if I'll survive." I get out my phone and start to text my mom, who works at the other side of the school. She says she's fine. And I text one of my friends from a different school. Her mom also works here. And I tell her that I'm scared for our lives and that there's a shooter in the school. I get in my friend's arms and hug her, whispering things like, "I don't want us to die," and "I want to be safe and okay." The intercom comes back on again, saying that the threat is gone. We all sign with relief as we get back to our seats. I'm shaking still, and I'm wondering what happened. A few minutes later, the principal comes in, laughing, saying that one of the teachers saw a guy with a PlayStation 2 controller on his desk and thought it was a gun. She ultimately came to conclusions. Who wouldn't? Our school is known across the county as being in a different town and also for being terribly dangerous. People fight every day. We've had 20 fights this year alone. People joke about shooting our school. And it was on Halloween. I'm just glad that I'm safe. End of story. Next story. Devious lick brought too far. Recently at my school, someone has been spreading poop on the bathroom walls. This has caused the bathrooms to be closed, and the janitor to go into depression. I don't have much to tell, but I want to say something anyway. End of story. Next story. 3-year anniversary since I met the friends that saved my life. So when I made this account, I did it to respond to an invite for a Meonite RP server on Minecraft. That server and those friends that made me feel happier than I ever had before in my life saved me from the religious cesspool I have been living in. I believed in what teachings the Jehovah's Witness cult teaches. I was a good Christian boy until I hit puberty and discovered how horny a teenager is. After I started looking at porn, I felt I was sinning so bad against God, and I told my parents about it so they could help me, but instead they brought me to the elders and I got reprimanded. I was in a low-ass spot. I felt I was never gonna live forever. So I thought might as well just end it here and now. Before I decided to go out, I wanted to watch my favorite series ever one last time. The Realm of Meonite. A Minecraft RP with Captain Sparkles, Jericho, Firefox, and Syndicate. As I watched, I heard Tom talk about the fan art he wanted drawn, and I knew about Reddit, so I went on to look at the subreddit. I found a bit of fan art but also an ad for an RP server dedicated to the series. At this point I thought I sinned against God enough to warrant death, so might as well just see what the world is like. So the account you see here today is the one I used to talk to the owner of that server. I am now happier than I have been in my life for a long time. I'm getting a job to move out of my house and to live closer to my friends. I'm still living with my parents and still under their rules, so I have to still attend meetings and service, but the hope that I can finally live a free life lets me push through it. Thanks for reading. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.